I stay organized at work using this task tracker, and I know a lot of you are also staying organized using the continuous flow task tracker version without the upgrades, so let me show you how to convert that one into the upgraded version. For the upgrades, we have a recurring section. We also have a parked task tab where you can park tasks while you wait for them, an upgraded automatic task counter, and in our Done tab, we have a new formula where it automatically extracts the week start date to be the Monday of the date that you completed the task. You can move a parked task back to the task list by clicking on Ready. The task added timestamp is now based on when you add the task instead of when you select Not Started. Recurring tasks are now copied to the Done tab, but they'll stay present, and we have an updated completed counter. To convert your tracker, the first thing you'll do is click the plus in the bottom left-hand corner and rename that new tab as Parked Tasks, and it does have to be this exactly. Then we'll go to our task list, and we're going to select all of column L, right-click, and click Delete Column. Then we're going to right-click on column H and click Insert One Column Left. And we'll add the header Notes. We'll right-click on the group bar and click Remove Group. And we'll select columns J through L, right-click, and click View More Column Actions. Group columns J through L. So now we have the toggle just for J through L. We'll expand row 3, then click into cell A4 and change the max trigger from A3 to A2. We'll delete column 3 that contains the 0. Then on the formula we just created, we'll use the fill handle to drag that formula down to at least row 9. We'll right-click on row 6 and select Insert One Row Above. Then copy the headers from row 2 and paste that in row 6. Now we need to adjust the formula in A7, so we'll click into A7. And where it says A2, we're going to change that to A6 instead. Now that we have our top section, we're going to change the priority for everything in the top section to recurring. And we'll change all the types to be something to do with recurring as well. Now we'll click on A7 and use that fill handle to drag that formula down all the way to the bottom of the sheet. Alright, so next we're going to update the progress/status dropdown. So click on any of the dropdowns, click the little pencil, and just underneath the last option, type ready. You can put whatever color you want. I put teal. And then we also need parked, and I put purple. When you hit done, select apply to all. And just so you know, these options do have to say this exactly, otherwise the automation will not work. After that, go to my link in bio, click beacons, and click app script code. Then we're going to select the upgraded continuous flow task tracker. And you'll see the automation there. Don't worry, you'll need to know how it works. But you'll click on the little copy raw file. Then go back to the Google Sheet, go to extensions, app script, delete every single piece of code that's currently there. And once you're done, you should have one line that says 1 with nothing on it. Then you'll paste what you just copied and click Save Project. So now our automation is upgraded. So let's go ahead and test it out. So back on the Google Sheet, anywhere in column C, let's type something. And you should see a timestamp appear automatically under Task Added. Now we're going to test out the park function, but before I do that, I want to keep things clean. So I'll go ahead and select Unplanned for type. I'll select Not Started, Priority Medium, and a random task focus. None of these actually matter. And then I'm going to select row 6. I'm going to copy that. Then I'll go to my Park Task tab and paste that in row 1. And now we're going to go back to our task list, and we're going to change Not Started to Parked. And if it's working correctly, it should automatically delete from the task list and move to the bottom of the Park Task list. And you'll see this reference error in column A. You don't need to worry about that. That's just because there is nothing to pull from. It's not going to affect your worksheet, so you can just leave it and make it smaller. Now let's mark that task as ready, and it should delete from this tab and go back to the task list. And you can see that the automatic counter is working properly again. The next thing we want to try is changing the status to pending. And you should see a timestamp automatically appear under Task Started. And then once we change the status to Done, the task should automatically be removed from the task list and moved to the bottom of the Done tab. So as you can see, everything is working properly, but you can see that the timestamps are misaligned, and that's because on our task list, we added a new column, but we didn't add that to our Done tab yet. So I'll insert one tab to the left of column I, and I'm going to name that new column Value Add. And then I'll copy the timestamps that we just put in and paste that, so that way the task added to task completed align. And I'm going to delete everything that's currently in week start. Now we're going to embed the new week start formula into the header. And to save some time, I went ahead and pasted it in here. So we'll type equals, open curly brace, the header, week start in quotes, then put a semicolon, array formula, open parentheses, if, open parentheses, is blank, open parentheses, L2:L, close parentheses, comma, round down, open parentheses, L2:L plus 3, minus weekday, L2:L, comma 16, 4 close parentheses, and a closed curly bracket. And you can test this out to make sure it's working correctly. You can double click on one of the dates in task completed and select a new date. and you should always see the Monday of the week that's completed appear in the week start date. So everything's working properly. So we're going to go back to our task list and we're going to update our completed counter. So once again, I pasted it in here just for simplicity's sake. And the formula is equals count ifs, open parentheses, from the done tab, columns L through L, comma, quote greater than or equal to quote, ampersand, C1, comma, from the done tabs, column L through L again, comma, quote less than or equal to quote, ampersand, open parentheses, C1 plus 7, minus weekday, open parentheses, C1, comma 16, 3 close parentheses. In our recurring section, I'm going to select pending and then done, and you'll see both the timestamps appear in task started and task completed, but the task does not disappear from that top list, but it is copied to the bottom of the done tab. So that way it's still included in the counter, but it's not removed from the list, so we have it for next time. As you can see, the date is in number form instead of date form, so I'm just going to reformat that as a date. Now, if we go back to the task list, you'll see that it still says 0 for completed, even though we have 1 marked as done for the week. And that's because our week start date is currently set to July 1st, but I'm filming this on June 26th, so it's the wrong week. So if I change this to June 24th instead, you'll see that now we have 2 completed. And as I complete more tasks and mark them as done, you'll see that the completed number increases automatically. So the counter is working properly. To update each week, it's super simple. All you have to do is change any unplanned tasks back to planned. Double-click on the date and change it to the Monday of the next week. And then for the recurring tasks, change anything that's done back to not started. And that's it. All the upgrades are complete, so happy tracking. And if you like this video, follow Sheets by Olin for more.